Welcome, everyone, to the show. I'm JJ Flazanes, your empowerment strategist and producer. Thank you for downloading today's episode. I had to do an intro for this episode because I forgot a few things. First, I want to say that we talk a lot about a practice that we do, and I do mention the link. The link is jjflazanes.com/NYE, stands for New Year's Eve, because it's a New Year's Eve practice. It was something I offered last year. We did update the file a little bit, and so you're able to download it again. If you didn't get it last year, definitely get it this year, jjflazanes.com/NYE. I also mention a way for you to make some money. If you have any interest in selling any of the courses that you've taken from me that you love and tell other people about, you can profit from it. And I mentioned the affiliate link, and I didn't know if it was affiliate with an E or with an S, and it's a single. It's jjflazanes.com/affiliate. And then last but not least, Stephanie Shea and I from Jan Spiller are teaming up to do another astrology class. For those of you that don't know, I taught a beginner's astrology class called Using Astrology in Business Success and Life. And I use all the inner planets and the 4 elements and go over very, very thoroughly how people behave, communicate, respond, look at the world, emote. And now it's time for the next level, the outer planets, the moons, the houses, all that kind of good stuff. So if you've taken the course, the first course, you can join us for the live second course. And if you haven't taken any of them, I offer a special deal to get both of them. Either way, it's jjflazanes.com/next level. Again, that's jjflazanes.com/next level. And all 3 options are there, but please come over and check it out. It was a really fun masterclass that she and I did, and I can't wait to dive into how to use the houses and the outer planets to set the tone for 2022 in a way that I've never done before, because the outer planets have been something I really don't pay that much attention to. But it's great information, and we'll be there to answer your questions live. The class starts January 12th, and it goes to February 2nd. It is on Wednesday every week live, and it is the only time it will be live. So if you have any interest whatsoever at learning more astrology, you can ask us anything astrological in relationship to communication, relationships, manifestation, money, purpose, life purpose, health, anything that you want. So please check out jjflazanes.com/next level. All of these links will be in the show notes. Happy end of the year. Enjoy our funny episode. Happy almost New Year, everyone.
I don't have those noisemakers, but if I had one, it would go...
Wow, you're a talented man. Welcome, everyone, to today's show. We are sitting in our living room. You will hear cats. You will hear background of the heat because I'm not allowed to turn it off because it's cold here. We are bundled up, socks. You have slippers on. We've got parkas on. We're in our house.
It's amazing how many clothes I have to be wearing inside my house. It's like a freezing 50 degrees outside.
Right. Yeah. California is different. We don't have carpet. We don't like carpet. We don't have as well insulated as the East Coast. So
we're living on dirt floors and concrete is what I'm listening to right now.
No, but we do love it. And our house retains all the things that you're not wanting.
Thank you for being here at the telethon. Now, if you would like to make a donation, you can do that very simply.
We ran out of money after we bought the house. We were poor now.
Did you say we're poor now?
Oh,
I thought you said we're porno. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, did I miss something?
No, different show. That's a different show.
What show is that one? That's the one I want to tune into.
So just to get back on track, today's show is going to just be a short little conversation that we kind of did last year, and I wanted to bring it forward because it works. God damn it, it works. We do a practice and I've been doing this practice for a long time, but I taught it to Doug. We did it with Michael a couple of years ago. We did it with Michael last year. We'll be doing it again with Michael this year.
Yeah.
And it's the reflections exercise of the year. And there are about 6 questions, and I've prepared this in a download for all of you to go and retrieve. It's at jjflazanes.com/NYE, New Year's Eve. And I want to just chat a little bit about why we do it, and Doug, get your opinion on if you think
freaking magic.
It's
magic. It is magic. It is like taking a magic wand, waving it over my head, throwing some fairy dust on there, and saying, what do you want to accomplish in the upcoming year? And it fucking works.
Okay, I have to back up because we're talking about two different practices.
Oh.
You're talking about what we're going to sit down and do in terms of, and I'm going to explain that.
Oh.
I don't have a sheet for all of you with that, but one of the things that I implemented a long time ago, probably when I started my business. Yeah, definitely. I was in LA. I didn't do it in New York. I did it in LA. And I've been in a mastermind group of some kind for many, many years. And what I appreciated about having a like-minded group of people with a focus of money manifestation and business growth and paying down debt and making investments and things like that.
Like 4 of my favorite things in the world to do.
Making money.
Well, you said making money. You said investing, you said saving money, and you threw in one other, but they were all related around paying down debt. That was it. These are all 4 of my favorite things to do.
Well, what I would do, because I like to have some structure, because I feel like many people, and especially I can tell you in the last couple of years as I've watched, mastermind members or business coaching clients kind of go in a little willy-nilly, there's a balance. There's a balance of creative flow and a balance of structure and tracking.
There will be no Willy nor
Nilly.
Willy.
Okay, it's Willy, not Willy and Willy. It's Willy and Nilly.
Neither one of those guys is invited to the party.
Okay, so it's about the tracking, all right. And for some people, and I'm saying this from personal experience, when I didn't track, I didn't know where I was, and I didn't know the growth I was experiencing. And it took getting a bookkeeper and investing in a bookkeeper. Best money I spend every month to keep. You are not my bookkeeper. I would never have you be my bookkeeper. I don't want your hands in my books.
I wasn't in your. Whoa, easy.
You can put your hands in other places, but not in my books.
It's a family show. I wasn't saying
I was. I wasn't. You just said fuck. It's not a family show.
No, it's definitely not a family show.
All right, this is explicit. So sorry, moms. Hope you're not listening to this episode with your kids in the car. But I when I hired my bookkeeper, and it was a stretch to spend the money, I knew I had to, because for so many years, every year I'd be frustrated that I would think I had a great idea. I would think I had good sales. I would think I'd have all these things. And I would look back and see that I wasn't any further along financially. I would ebb and flow. Maybe I made more, but I spent more. Trust me, guys, I am not like a big saver. I'm a decent saver. But I'm in the business of making more money, and it has worked for me. And I fully support putting your focus in making more money, not in saving more, because guess what? When you make more, you can save more. You can also spend more. You can pay down things faster. But when you focus on debt and you don't focus on income and making more, then you're locked and you feel tight, and money becomes a sore subject that you just feel like you can't do anything. Like, in order to pay this and this, I can't have this and that. And that is not something I enjoy. Can't and restriction when it comes to life is not fun. So put your focus on making more. And even if you don't have your own business, there are ways for you to make more. And in fact, I will let you know that right now. For those of you that listen to my show and you're not entrepreneurial at all, you have no intention of buying a business, but you love some of the products that you've gotten from me. Like, for instance, my astrology course. Many of you have taken the astrology course, and I've asked for a couple testimonials today and the other day, and I've been getting really great feedback from people that continue to revisit the course and use it in their lives. So if you tell other people about it, sell it to them. Become an affiliate of mine, and you get 50% commission.
It's the easiest thing in the world, because when you're an affiliate, you have no deliverable. I love that. I love sharing a great concept, sharing a unique link, and collecting money and not having to deliver on the product.
Right. So if you're already recommending things to people, why not make some money while you're doing it? And you can recommend several things. I have several courses, and talk to me if you're interested in this idea of becoming an affiliate. But you can sign up. It's jjfulzames.com/affiliate. And actually, I'm not sure if it's affiliate or affiliates, but nonetheless, check the show notes. Try both, with an S, without an S. So back to conversation at hand. So
before you go on to that, can I just tell you that it doesn't need to be a full-time income? Can you imagine if you're listening to JJ and you're in her community and you're listening to her shows consistently and constantly, if you were just to put her products and services in someone else's hands once every other month, let's just say it's a $500 thing. Imagine having $250 every other month just magically appear in your PayPal inbox. That's the cool thing. I love doing stuff that doesn't require any effort beyond what I'm already doing, and there's an income attached to it.
Right. Super easy affiliate promotion. So let's first talk about what you're going to get when you go to jjflizanes.com/NYE. You're going to get a sheet with 6 questions that are called Reflections of 2021. And this is an activity I would recommend doing with at least one other person, but you don't have to. You can do it by yourself or do it in a group. So like I said, Michael and Doug and I have done it several times. And you write down your answers and then you share your answers. And then when you're done, you burn it.
Ooh,
and
the burn.
What's really fun this year, last year we burned it. We were at a hotel here in Ojai and we didn't have a fireplace. No, we lit it on fire, went outside and let it burn on the sidewalk because I didn't want to burn the place down. So
they frown upon that here in Ojai.
Right. Well, anywhere. And so now we have a fireplace. We get to burn it in our own fireplace. I'm so excited. So the write and burn is a very powerful activity and something to do. And that, again, is something to do actually on New Year's Eve. And right before midnight, right before you celebrate with champagne or whatever, and you kiss people or you don't kiss people, or you go to bed. Do before you go to bed. Okay, thank you for the mouth or nasal, whatever you're doing, to make a sound and sing a song.
All lang syne.
All right. So let's go back to what other activities would be great to do and why we recommend them. So another practice that we do, and we do this usually the day of New Year's Eve or the day before. Last year we added a vision board to it. So the 3 of us sat around the kitchen table and did vision boards. But it's also the list. So I have a paper calendar. And you don't have to have a paper calendar, but I go back to the very beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And I write down from the beginning of January till the end of December all the things I can think of that were considered accomplishments.
Oh, that was so much fun.
And I call it accomplishments of whatever year it is. And Doug and I have done it 2 or 3 times together. And it's a pretty long list when you actually look at the calendar. When you look at what you did, where you went, what relationships happened, what changes happened. And especially if you're in business, any new products or services you created, any new clients that you got, relationships that were built, affiliates that were created. And we come up with a really long list. And then we share that list because we want to celebrate. And I'm recommending this, even if you don't have a business, do it personally. What can you celebrate about what you accomplished in 2021? This is going to do a couple things. First, it's going to put you in a state of allowing and receiving an appreciation. Most of us get to the end of the year and we're thinking about the next year without really appreciating what we just went through. Talk a little bit about your experience with that accomplishment list.
I looked at the list today because we had a mastermind member of our podcast mastermind, and we were showing him an example of the goals that we set. And I forgot on the back side of that page were the accomplishments from that year. I looked through them and I'm like, oh my God, I have accomplished so much since last year. Again, I know I'm looking forward to going through it. And for me, it raises your frequency to a point where you're like, yeah, it's like I can do this again this year. And you don't take into account so many things that you think at the time were maybe a little bit more mundane. But as you think back, it's like, wow, that was a turning point of my business, or that client was the beginning of these 5 clients, and all of the things that you've accomplished in the course of the year. I love it. It was a great exercise. And I look back and my list was packed.
Yeah, well, if you actually look at the calendar when you do it, you will find more things than you will otherwise. If you just think, all you're going to remember is probably the last quarter, if you're lucky, or any major things that happened this past year. I'm saying go back into your calendar and start at the beginning, because you're going to forget if you just leave it to memory.
I got one for you, JJ, one that's going to go on my board for you if you don't remember.
Okay.
2021 was the year that JJ became a DJ.
Yes, I did. Actually, it was approximately 2 weeks ago, and I learned how to work the board, and I ran the music by myself at a bar mitzvah where Doug was out there with all the kids, and I was scared to screw it up.
You did great.
I became a DJ.
That's right.
All right.
You even got a tip for that gig.
I did get a tip, and I got clients out of it.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I wanted Doug to pay me, and he was like, yeah, I'm not paying you. And then... and I wanted, and the amount of money that I wanted him to pay me was what he pays his other DJs, and he wasn't.
Which everybody would think would be fair.
Not really, but anyway, but it's fine. I was willing to accept that amount, but you weren't willing to pay it to me. So I manifested clients and got it anyway.
Excellent. Well, you did very well. You did not need my money, and I proved that to you.
Yeah, right. So, okay, accomplishments. That's the first step. Second step. If you're a business owner or have a side business or want to start a side business or want to start selling my products or someone else's products and services, or try to figure out an affiliation of some kind where you're already promoting something and maybe there's some extra money in there for you, is to make a list of your financial goals. And again, I'm going to make this broad. I never do financial goals in terms of any more of saving. When I started one of my groups years ago, and I did focus on paying debt down, that was one of the goals, was to make money and also pay the debt down. Now, and I'm not saying I don't have any debt. It kind of rotates back and forth. I make money, I pay it off. We bought a house and I made a lot of money there and used it. And then there's expenses. But for me, last year and the year before, I focus on my income strategies, because that's where the attention goes in order for money to flow, is how am I bringing it in? What ideas and what kind of time do I want to be working? And I even want you to go as far as, see, a lot of people go, I want to make this amount of money, blank, whatever it is. But you have no strategy to get there. And then some people say, I want to make X amount of dollars, let's say $75,000. And you think you have a strategy, but you only have one. And you think it has to look one way. At our podcast mastermind this last week, it was our last of the year and last for a long time. And I said, come up with three different scenarios to get you to that number. Now, here's the thing. And Doug and I both, I think, did this. We wrote down some scenarios. If I sell X amount of this and X amount of that, and I do this and that, and have some of these and some of those, and then we added it up, and it's kind of random. We're basing it on what we're doing now, and it's not even a stretch goal. It's just I think I can do this goal. It's like a realistic goal. And, I've come pretty close, and who knows? I still have a little bit of time. I may even get to that exact number that I wrote down, but I'm pretty close. And I didn't even, one of the things that I said I was going to sell was going to be the Cultivating Confidence course. Yeah, guys, that's not happening. That's probably not even happening till the end of next year, because there are other courses coming next year that they're very excited about, because I'm going to be partnering with other people.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so especially 2 of them, and then there's a third one. Anyway, so there's already at least 3 courses happening next year, and Cultivating Confidence is not one of them. So hopefully I'll be able to get that in before the end of 2022. But that was one of my line items. Well, I didn't even make it, but money came in other ways. So just play with a picture of, what could I make? And you can do sort of like a budget. How I teach budgets is to do a medium, a low, and a high budget. So maybe do a medium, low, and high income strategy. Start with the medium one, the one that you think is the most realistic, and then go high. Well, what would it look like if things worked out great? And maybe you and I can do that this year, Doug.
Yeah, so this is kind of like your forecast.
Yeah.
Your reverse budget, not what you're spending, but what you're making.
Right. And then just the ideas, because if you can conceptualize that you are going to do this, that, and the other thing, and here's what you think you can bring in terms of the amount of people and what they all pay and all that good stuff, you're looking at what you think is somewhat realistic. And yes, you're going to work for it, but you're not stretching too far out of your belief system. So do the medium income goal first, the realistic one, and then go big. Go stretch goal. Go gangbuster goal, and just play with it, because it's fun. It's really fun to see what you can imagine, because if you can't imagine it, you can't create it. So that would be step 2. Accomplishments was 1. Step 2 would be your income goals. And then 3 would be another list of questions to ask, like about your superpowers and about your zones of genius. And let's just use it like that, like things that you know using the Big Leap, because a lot of you've done that work with me or at the boot camp or heard it on the Inner Circle podcast or, heard Gay Hendricks 3 times on the show. But looking at where do you limit yourself? What are your zones of genius and superpowers? And what did you learn in 2021 to help you do it better or differently in 2022? Along with the reflections document, okay? So I know that sounds like a lot, but and you can make a vision board. That could be another thing that you do. Sitting around the table, cutting out pictures and putting them on a board is really fun. And Doug and I did an Ojai board, and a couple months later we bought a house.
Wow, that was pretty fast. That was pretty fast.
Yeah. Any thoughts to share, Doug, about the practice that we do? Because we're business owners, so we take this really seriously. It's part of our visioning, our planning. A couple years ago, he and I did it by ourselves at Terranea. We spent the day at the spa. We were doing it in our robes by the pool, which was really nice. But anything to tell people out there about committing to it?
I think number one, I would say absolutely commit yourself to doing it, and if for no other reason other than the outcome of the year. So at the end of 2022, after you have gone through all of 2022, the upcoming year, and you look back to the things that you just wrote about, you are going to be amazed. I continue, and I'm okay at goal setting. I don't really love goal setting, but this for me was like an activity. It was kind of like a color in the numbers kind of thing, or paint by the numbers. It was really a great practice for me. And I would tell you that if you don't do it, you're not going to know. It's like, what's the expression? Shooting at an arrow can't find its target if you don't have one, or something like that. Or what is it? Something about finding a target. Something.
Babe, I don't know. It's late, and that's not my strength.
I can tell you, if you don't do it, you are not going to know if you've ever gotten there where you've set for your, where you set your goals. When you set your goals, or at least when you start to develop an idea of where you want to go, your brain subconsciously starts to work on the plan to get you there. I don't think that you should just do it and then forget about it for the rest of the year and then look at it. Remind yourself throughout the course of the year, but it all starts with the practice of writing down your financial goals, absolutely writing your accomplishments. You're going to be amazed at what you've accomplished over the course of the year, and the calendar practice is a great way to do it. Just go through your calendar. It is something that you won't regret. You'll enjoy doing it. It will be a fun activity. If you have a partner that is into this, great. If you have a friend that is a business owner or someone that you like to do this kind of stuff with, then forget your partner and use your friend, because you only want to do this activity with someone that is enthusiastic about it. This is not a downer moment. It is a time for you to really shine and show up. So I'm excited to hear more about what people's goals are.
And I even would recommend do it with your kids. And if the financial goals, although I think would be a great practice for everybody, especially anyone who wants more money, wants to manifest more opportunity, it's when you're in the realm of possibility and allowing, you get more ideas and things will come to you. But you could also do relationship goals. I think if I remember correctly, the first year Doug and I did it, we had some relationship goals. And we had a goal of connecting more and maybe having better communication. I don't know, because we've done all of it. So we're like, I don't know what's next. But it worked. And it's the same idea of rampage of appreciation, of appreciating what it is that you have, and then also getting excited about what you can create and what's new. And while, yes, it's another day, the clock strikes midnight. We go from December 31st, 2021 to January 1st, 2022, and it's just another day. It is a reset, and it's an ability to be reset. It's a new calendar year, and you're going to sign your checks wrong for the first couple of months. But
who signs checks?
Me. I sign checks. Not a lot, but
and you write in your paper calendar, which is so cute.
Thank you. And let's see, financially, how did I do this year?
You did really well, enough to be able to afford a computer program.
Shut up. I think my leap from last year this year is bigger than your leap. So be quiet. Don't
Talking
make
about income?
yes.
Okay, I think my leap for lack of working and making a lot
Okay,
of
true,
money
fine.
actually is pretty good
Fine.
too.
But don't you make fun of my paper
I
calendar,
am
my
not making
flip
fun of your
phone,
calendar. Oh
or
my
me
God.
writing checks.
God,
and I don't write that many
I have an
checks.
all-time high. I've worked a total of 5 hours this year.
He's exaggerating. But I will say Doug has worked less since we've moved, and he's made more. And it's because he has no resistance, like emotional anxiety or resistance to money, because he's not paying attention. He's in the garage with his car or outside getting his hands dirty, and shit just falls into line because he's having a good time. And that's the name of the game. You do need to have structures in place, though, so that money can come in.
Yeah, it's not going to come in just by wishing. You have
Right.
to put the proper structure
And
in place. And I'll tell you, that was one of our goals, one of my goals in 2018, going into 2019, which was I'm not going to spend any time outside of my zone of genius, or at least my zone of excellence. 2019 into 2020, same thing. 2020 into 2021, amazing. And I'm going to repeat it again this year, and I'm even going to fine-tune it more. Put someone else in place to do the things that are in my zone of excellence so that I can spend all of my time in 2022 in my zone of genius. And I know what's going to happen. I'm going to work less and make more again.
I will not be working too much less. I work less than I used to. I like the pace. Maybe I'll, take a little bit more time off, because I'm definitely right now at the end of my rope with this year. Can't wait for some time off. But I am going to be doing things differently also. So just use this momentum of the end of the year, the last couple of days, the 28th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, and even the 1st, to anchor in some new habits, anchor in some new intentions, and really ask yourself, if you keep asking for the same thing and you don't do it, what are you going to do differently? And commit to it. Find accountability. Pay for accountability. I wasn't going to learn how to do QuickBooks. I was going to pay for a bookkeeper. And it's the best money I spend, because it made me money quickly. It allowed me to see things. I got excited about my finances because she was showing me things. And I could still be doing better than I'm doing in terms of paying attention to it. But let me tell you, that investment into trusting that someone else is taking care and being responsible. The fact that I was avoiding it because I'm not good at it made me irresponsible in tracking, and that hurt my business. But now that I had somebody on top of it who could ask me questions and point things out, all of a sudden I felt more like a business owner. So my energy and again, I've had her for a couple of years. This wasn't just this past year. But I would, and even those of you that are out there who do your own damn taxes, and learning how to get someone to help you, go back and review some of the years in the past, because you may be missing places you could have written something off. And I think I've said this on a show before, but let me say it now, and to be very, very clear, everyone needs to have a business. If you do not, and I'm saying that because
Giving money away.
You are literally giving the government money willingly.
Yes.
Because a lot of things you do could be write-offs. And it doesn't have to be a full-time or even like a super, I'm going to make a lot of money business.
As
just
a matter of fact,
side business.
it can be a business that writes off a loss every year. Not forever, but especially in the first handful of years, the government allows you to take a loss.
For like 3 out of 5 years in some states.
Without any question.
Right. This is legal. And it's completely how people pay less in taxes.
By the way, this is not JJ or Doug giving you any legal advice or financial advice or accounting advice. If you have an accountant, an attorney, or any other fool, ask them the question,
yes,
because they'll be able to give you a very similar answer as well. But we are not being paid to give you this advice. It's just the advice we follow.
Please consult a CPA, an EA who works with small businesses. Please, ones that specialize in working with small businesses and home-based businesses, and find out how you can save a lot more money next year, because you can deduct some of the things that you're doing to support your family and your business that come out of your paycheck that shouldn't. Because you can use them to write them off. So anyway,
one other point, just worth mentioning. If you are an employee of someone else, meaning you don't own the company, but you actually work for somebody else, and they have a 401k and you are contributing to it, bravo. If you're not contributing to it, you're giving away money to the government. Again, you're giving away money. They're giving you a tax-free capability to, something that you can take advantage of. So 401k, absolutely. If you have a health insurance program, which everybody should have health insurance, if you don't, it's time to get it. If you have health insurance and you have an HSA, health spending account capable plan, make sure you are contributing to your HSA. The maximum amount, I think, for a family is like $7,500. It's tax deferred money. I don't think it's tax-free money, tax deferred money, but there is no limit. You can, $7,500 or something like that, you can contribute. You can use it at any point for any medical expense except for health insurance premiums. And finally, if you don't have an IRA or a SEP, if you're self-employed or anything like that, you really, really are not doing yourself a service. So between the savings of the SEP and IRA, your HSA, and your 401k, all of those things, please, please, please take advantage of each one of those. You're giving money back to the government needlessly, and you need to stop doing that.
All right. So Doug Sandler's next iteration of his business will be financial planning.
No, that was not financial advice. Please consult your attorney or financial planner. I am not paid or compensated or commissioned by any brokerage company to say that. I just know it because I was the fool that wasn't doing that stuff early on in my career, and I was just losing money.
Yep. So just learn a little bit, guys. It's all this stuff is completely legal. It saves you money. It makes you money. It's out there for you, and most of you don't use it or know it because you just go to work, get your paycheck, and then don't read or learn about this. I was that too, and definitely it does pay, literally, to learn this. So that will be enough for today. I think your head might be spinning. The point of today really is to say Happy New Year, happy holidays. I wish you all an amazing time with family, friends, loved ones, or by yourself, whatever brings you joy. And please stop doing that through your nose, honey. Like really. And really, if you can take a day to do some of these practices, and really for no other reason than to honor your journey, honor your lessons, honor your growth, because it needs to be honored in order for you to be able to allow and receive more that continues on the path. So that's the wisdom for today. Happy 2021, New Year's Eve. Can't wait to be with you in 2022. So much good stuff coming on the show. I can't even begin to tell you. So much good stuff. Terry Real back. I mean, I said it the other week. Terry Real back. Joyce Dale's back. David Avocado Wolf back. Bruce Lipton's coming back. So many. Dr. Z. It's just we have such a great lineup of amazing content and activities. And in the first of the year, in the first month, there's Dr. Terry Real and I did a show about healing the inner child. And it's work you guys can do on yourself. And I was the patient, and I went through an entire process you will get to use on yourself. And you will hear my struggles and my story and watch and hear me cry because he helped me move through some things, and it'll be very valuable for you to do the same thing on your own. So look forward to more growth in 2022. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. Love you. Wish you nothing but success always, and always here to kick your ass when you need it.